Hello there in the big wide world. Hello to all my subscribers, friends, family and all the other people who accidentally popped onto my account. Today we're going to be talking about Pinterest, and I have 5 tips for you indie folk and friends of indie folk to help promote your work and help promote their work, really, because it's a family thing, really, isn't it? Yes, today we're going to be talking about Pinterest because it's a growing thing that's popping up in the indie market, and I was skeptical myself to start off with, I admit, but I have now broken my Pinterest cherry and have a few boards up, which I'll post at the end of this video. So before I crack on with those 5 tips I told you about, I best introduce Pinterest for those who aren't really sure about it or have just used it for that horrible little thing called procrastination. So here we go. You out there watching this video and looking at me thinking, he's drinking a beer. Well, yes I am. Why not? But yes, you are an independent creative type, author, musician, whatever, you're independent, and that's what matters. And I suppose these tips can work for everybody in the independent field, not just authors, which this video is primarily for. But you are independent, so you need to stop thinking about the royalties, because frankly they're hard to get, and when we do get them it isn't much. But what you need to focus on is marketing. I found out through the indie gurus that I'm associated with. We need to stop thinking of ourselves as authors and more publishers, really, because we do a bit of everything, don't we? And focus on the marketplace, which it's a pain in the arse. We don't like maths and all that other awkward stuff, but it's got to be done to make the moolah and whatnot. So as of before 2016, the market was different, especially for the independent authors. We had options and avenues we could go down. For example, you could use KDB Select and Unlimited to make your books free and still rely on collecting a small royalty each month. That now, thanks to the almighty Zon of Amazon, is no longer a thing. So that's why we got to go down these other avenues, which is a pain, but it's also quite lucrative if you play your cards right. Don't get me wrong, some authors do fantastically in marketing their work using their own cunning plans, and you can be just like them too, as long as you play your cards right and your books are good enough, because a bad review can sink us. You can make a healthy income from your creative words and wisdom. Sadly, that whole advertising quest is full of dragons, monsters, ogres and pitfalls, which we've all fallen into from time to time. You can spend a lot of your hard-earned dosh and get very little in return. This is the reason I thoroughly recommend that you use as many free promotional opportunities as you can before you start spending your real hard-earned cash. You don't know what will sell, obviously. Nobody really does, but you can write the book that you love, which is kind of what we want, really. Deep down, we all don't really want to do it for the pennies, but it's the reality. We just want to tell a good story. You want to make a book that your beta readers and fans drool over, and who knows, maybe one day other things will spawn from it, but that's a pipe dream until you actually put the groundwork in. Right. If you can easily use free marketing opportunities, you're almost certainly going to not need to throw money into it. While there are many ways to promote your books for free, now I've discovered Pinterest, I thoroughly recommend it. Think of it as a notice board / social media love child of Facebook and a corkboard. And it has a very enthusiastic following, and there are lots of avid Pinterest followers and viewers, which that's a new market you haven't tapped, really. So I thoroughly recommend it, and here are my 5 tips to get your free marketing bits out of it, really. So stay tuned. Here is my first tip. You can use Pinterest to plot your work and plot also your marketing plans and whatnot without messing it up early on. Here's how. Pinterest has a function called the secret board, which is basically a behind the scenes, for your eyes only notice board. You can use it to bookmark ideas, story arcs, everything you want to use for your novel and marketing without the reader actually seeing it. Give it a name, obviously, to organise it and stop it falling into the virtual circular file. But don't be a twit about it. Use it with the thought of a normal reader, because they aren't going to know your grand scheme, are they? So use it as a normal user would. And try to forget, I know it's weird because you're talking about marketing, but try to forget the marketing aspect of it. Here's the reason I think you should do it, because readers, your potential fan market, are everywhere and they are looking at your notice boards. You have no idea really where the next reader is going to come from, so bookmark pins that you really honestly like for at least a month before you pay too much attention really to using Pinterest for book marketing. Get your bugs ironed out really, yeah. I suppose is the best way to call it. Aside from its uses for marketing, Pinterest is a wonderful resource for inspiration and research. Christ, there's boards on everything from beer to chihuahuas and everything in between, really. Trust me, there's some amazing boards out there if you just go hunting. The more comfortable and at home you feel with the network, the more useful it will be. And who doesn't like to be comfortable at home, especially at their office? And think Pinterest is an office. You have an office in your notice board, a notice board in your office even, and that's think of it as that way. Whenever I start a new book or a series, I create a board, or at least two, and those links will be at the end of this video for all my crime novels and my current work in progress. I kept them secret for a while, but now it's time to unveil them, I think. Now the books are in editing and out there. Pinterest is also useful for plotting your fiction, like I said before. If you're a visual person like I am, I create a secret plotting board for each novel and each character arc. Then I add pins to its locations, characters and scenes. That way you can describe in detail what you need to describe without getting bogged down with, oh, what does that scene look like, or what does that building look like? So that's my first tip. Here is my second tip. When you're creating boards, think one word. Readers, because frankly that's all we're doing it for, isn't it? We're doing it for readers. What do your readers enjoy? What do they like? What do they dislike? Keep those in the back of your mind when creating your boards, because it's marketing tools you can use. Why put a board up that people are going to go, ooh, why did they do that, when you could be, well, doing the complete opposite really. When you're creating boards, like I said, think about the reader and what might appeal to them. Are your readers male or female? Theme your board a little bit towards that gender if you want, because, well, male and females enjoy different things. Visit magazine sites and check out themes that you can use or how they promote to either sex or demographic or whatever, but start thinking a bit more ergonomically and aesthetically to the target market. The more you understand your readers, the more your writing will improve. I found that, and I think most authors out there have found that if they really think about it. If you're a new author though, it's very natural to think of only of yourself. We've all been there, we've all made that same mistake. It will get better, you will naturally come out of it, so don't panic there. But the more you become interested in your readers, the better. Pinterest is a great way of helping get to know them and vice versa. They can get to know you at the same time. So, on to tip 3. On to my next tip. As in the last tip, I said think readers. Now we're going to think authors. Promote other authors as often as you can, and they'll take a slice out of your cake and promote you. It's kind of a quid pro quo thing, really. You're an author, they're an author, we're all in the same bloody boat. If you look at other authors as competition, you're going to fall flat on your face. So stop being a defensive little bugger and open up those arms with some love. Befriend your fellow authors. Follow them on Pinterest. Get networking, my good people. Get networking. When you set out to promote other authors, you're growing the tree. You're making the cake. The marketplace. The marketplace is your cake. So take that slice and eat it nicely. You do that and you'll get a bigger slice. Check to see what their boards are like and borrow a few ideas and let them borrow some from you. And especially if you're in the same genre, well, why not? It's like I said, you're helping each other, so join their groups and they'll join yours, we hope, and start up some group boards with these authors and get a collection of ideas together that we can all pinch and borrow and use from. That way, I strongly believe you'll sell more books. Right, on to the next tip. On to my next tip. Oh God, this beer is good. Like in the last two tips we had buzzwords, this one is traffic. If you have a business mind, you can convert your Pinterest account to a business account. It's free and there's gizmos and gadgets and settings, I believe, to do it. It's easy to convert it into a business account, especially on Pinterest more than anything else. And it's worth doing, I'm told. I haven't done it yet. I'm in the process of doing it, but it is worth doing, I'm told, because business accounts have additional little things called analytics, where you'll be able to see daily impressions, what pins you've done are getting more attention, what boards are getting more attention, and that way you'll learn more about your audience. It takes time, but they do become valuable if you put the work in as your presence on the network grows. So over time, they can help you even write better books because you'll be able to see what your reader base is liking. So, and who doesn't like a free bit of info and a free cheat sheet? Right, on to my next tip. Here's my final tip for this board, for this video even. Your first 100 followers are bloody hard to get. They really are, because nobody knows who you are and why should they follow you? But they will if you put the work in. But they are hard to get. We've mentioned before group boards. Group boards are the best and easiest way to grow your followers when you're just starting out on the Pinterest network. When you start off, things will happen slowly, but that's okay. It's completely normal. Don't get your knickers in a twist. You'll get there. After all, we all start from zero, don't we? But after you get to 100 followers, Pinterest make things a lot simpler for you. Excuse me. Follow other authors, like I said, and their fans will become your fans. Another major tip I have for you, though, is growing your following means following others. Follow the pinners, as they're called, you enjoy, and your following will naturally increase. Like I said, we're all after the same cake. We all want the same slice. So get that knife and start cutting. Right, that is my next tip. Well, hello again. This isn't really a tip, but it's my final thought. Have fun with it, for Christ's sake. Don't worry about it too much. I know we should and we've got to put thought in, but have some fun, for God's sake. It's all about fun. Writing's fun, reading's fun, so why shouldn't marketing be fun? If either of those things are not fun, you're doing something wrong and you need to take a serious rethink. Grab a beer, it helps. Then take a sip and focus on ways of making it fun. The funny your boards are, the authors and readers and pinners will have fun following your boards. It's a little circle, so have some fun and don't get so bunged up on the details. You'll get there. We've all been there, like I said. Just relax, enjoy, and start pinning. Okay. Excuse me. thanks you for watching, and I've got links to a few things at the end of this site, of this little video even, as well as a sneak peek on what's coming next. You can join me on Pinterest if you want. I've got 2 boards out at the moment which are going to be turning to 3 or 4 soon. I'll leave the links to that on my website. Just click on the Pinterest logos and you'll get whooshed there like a magic carpet ride through the interweb. Okay, ta-ra.